Today on Beyond the Chicken Coop, we are making mashed potatoes with red potatoes. This is such an easy recipe with just a few ingredients. We're going to use red potatoes, milk, butter, sour cream, and salt and pepper. That's all you need to make these delicious potatoes. So we're going to start with the potatoes, and we're going to start by peeling the potatoes. When I'm using red potatoes, I like to leave a little bit of the peel. I like it to show in the mashed potatoes. So I remove the majority of the peel and any spots on the potatoes that might be there, but I like to leave a little bit of the peel. You can fully take it off all the way if you'd like to. If you're trying to get things done ahead of time for the holidays, you can fully peel these potatoes and cut them up and put them in a pot of cold water and just let them sit. You could even do it overnight and put it in the refrigerator. Okay, get rid of all of these peels. I'm going to give my potatoes a quick rinse. Okay, I'm going to cut my potatoes, and I don't cut them too small. I want to leave them in some fairly large chunks. But I do want them to be fairly even in size as well. And this is going to go into a pot with cold water or cool water. We want to start potatoes in cool water rather than boiling water. Typically anything that's grown underground, a root veggie like potatoes, carrots, beets, we start in cold water because it slowly warms up. I want to add a generous amount of salt. These are going to go on the stove, and I'm going to bring them to a boil. Once they boil, I'll turn it down to a simmer, and I'm going to cook these until they're very soft, almost fall apart tender. So my potatoes are ready, and what I like to do is fish one out and just break it apart with the fork, and you want it to just fall right apart. These are done. Okay, we want to get as much water off as possible, and these go back into our hot pot. I let them sit here for a minute. This pot is going to help any excess water evaporate off, and we want to get rid of as much water as possible. Okay, now I'm going to take my masher and start mashing these potatoes. I have my milk, and I use whole milk because that's usually what we have in the fridge. You can use skim milk or 2% milk, whatever you prefer. And I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of butter into this milk. This needs to get warmed up. You can do it on your stovetop, or I'm just going to throw it in the microwave. I'm going to add about half of this amount and start stirring everything together. Okay, you can see it's very thick. And I'm going to stir in half a cup of sour cream. I love the taste that sour cream adds without you knowing that it's in there. If you prefer not to use sour cream, just add extra milk. Now the key about making mashed potatoes is you need to add the right amount of milk and butter so that this is nice and creamy. I don't add it all at once because I don't want my mashed potatoes to become soupy. And this is going to vary every time, depending on how much liquid maybe was still remaining in your potatoes, the amount of actual potatoes that you have. So you just want to make certain that you're adding the amount that you like. If you like a softer, creamier potato, a little bit looser, add more milk. These are just about exactly how I like them. We have to taste them though. Tasting gives you 2 things. It tells you the consistency to see if you need to add a little bit more. And I have just a drop left, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. And how much salt and pepper you need. We haven't added any pepper yet, but remember that we started with salted water when we boiled our potatoes, so you might not need much salt in there at all. You don't have to add pepper either if you don't want to. I'm just going to add a little. I'll take these and put them into a serving bowl. What I like to do is use the spoon and make a little bit of a swirl around here. This is a big pile of potatoes. couple little pats of butter right in the center that are going to melt down, and then serve it just like this.